Hello, I'm back, Rod from Fleet News Group, and look at this beauty, the Genesis GV80 Coupe 2025 model. It's a nice stunning looking car, this one. Not that the previous GV80 wasn't either, but new coupe shape, a little bit sexier looks about it. We'll tell you all about it in today's video. Today we're looking at the GV80 Coupe. What's it like to drive? What's the engine performance like? What are its competitors? And is the fleet manager going to say yes to this one? Probably not. Keep watching and I'll tell you all about it. And remember, if you like these videos, don't forget to hit that like button down there, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at the Fleet News Group. Go on, give that like button that little bit of a tickle. You know you want to. Well, let's look at the styling now of the GV80 Coupe. Lovely big Genesis badge there. The usual nice big crosshatch grille, looks very nice. I like the colour, the red's very nice. Huge 22-inch wheels with Genesis on the brake caliper in there. Very nice. Has all the athletic elegance design philosophy still running here. Nice big chrome trim down the side. I didn't think I'd like that, but I don't mind it actually, it's quite good. And the rear tyre there, nice big 22-inch rim again. And then the rear brake too, just in case you forget it's a Genesis. So yeah, the styling of the coupe at the back. Nice and swooped down. I actually think I like it more than the SUV from a styling point of view. Different rear wing or spoiler assembly there, moulded into the shape of the car, looks very nice. All the usual design accents for the Genesis are here as well. The twin exhausts, very nice. And it's even got a big sunroof on it as well. Very nice. I like it. The GV80 Coupe 2025 model. Well, what's it like driving the GV80? It's very nice. Leather everything inside, really nice indeed. Comfortable, quiet. Just listen to this. Nothing. Very quiet in here. Very, very nice. I've got the seat on here, the seat heater going, the steering wheel heater's on. All the nice comforts. The lovely quilted leather seats. Power adjustment on everything, heated and cooled seats, both for the front passenger and driver, as well as the outboard seats in the rear. It really is a luxurious SUV, the GV80 Coupe. What's different about it? Well, the coupe style's new. There's the GV80 SUV, which I've driven numerous times since it was first released, and in all 3 engine variants too. I drove the diesel, the 2.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo, and this motor, the 3.5 litre V6 twin turbo. I've got to say, there's only the one motor now, and this is the pick of the bunch. Really is a beautiful motor. Gets up and goes big time when you want it to, definitely. And we'll do that shortly when we hit the 100 zone. So can play with the transmission modes here. Binging away because it doesn't particularly like that. And there's the driver attention system going off again because I looked down to look at the controller there. So I can move this knob here and move it around and between eco mode, hang on, there's eco mode there. Go into comfort mode and then into sport mode. And the engine note changes straight away. I can feel the seat bolsters tightening up for me, and it's all ready to go in sport mode. And I look down at the camera, and anyway, it's still going on there about stuff. So we're just coming up towards the 100 zone now, and we'll see how it goes. But it's just such a pleasant environment, this vehicle. You could drive, and I have been because I've been going country driving, and I've got to find out how to turn that off. It's very annoying. Here we go, hitting the 100 zone now. So we just come up to the marker, and I'll put the foot down. There we go. Very good. We've already hit the 100. It just pulls so quickly and fast, this motor. It doesn't want to quit, and it's got a beautiful engine note when she's roaring on. Even at low speed in eco mode, it's got a nice little burble going on there, which sounds a bit offbeat and that, more like a V8 type sound, but it may be a bit of oral enhancement going on there, but hey, I don't care. It sounds good. I like it. But the way it responds, if you need to pass a truck on the highway, is just check it's clear ahead, beside you, put the indicator on and just blast past. It's so simple and easy to do, and effortless. And that's one term I think really describes driving the GV80 Coupe. It's effortless, comfortable, it's quiet, it's got every feature under the sun going for it in here. Look at this 27-inch display screen here. That's amazing. You've got the touchscreen side over there, and no warning alarms going off because I'm talking to you and not looking straight out there. But it is just luxury personified in here. Got nice little temperature controls here. You do have to touch the screen to make the fan go up and down, but for heat settings, cooling settings, you can just twist the knob to adjust, and that keeps your eyes more on the road than having to constantly tap at everything on the screen. Easy to reach controls here. Again, I look down at the controls, that's why it's going off at me. But you've got all the cruise control functions, speed limiter, all that stuff on this side, left-hand side, and all the phone and stereo controls over on the right-hand side. So you can just feel away there and click on the buttons on the steering wheel without, again, having to tootle around down here to get it to do stuff, or on the screen over here. It's quiet, it's comfortable, it's got lots of safety features: speed warning, driver attention alert, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, rear cross traffic alert, forward collision alerts. It's got parking cameras front and rear, it's got the sensors all round, radar, cruise control, automatic headlamps. All those features come into play, along with traffic sign recognition. All of it is in play for you in this car. It's got a heads-up display, and it's a very detailed one. Genesis does it very well. I've got speed, whether I've got the lane keep assist and the lane departure warning turned on, what my current speed is, what the posted speed limit is. If a car comes into the blind spot monitoring system, it not only appears on the mirror, but also up on the heads-up display. And there is a little red car's going to pass me now, and I can see it going through. There it goes through there, but it comes up to me there and tells me on the heads up that it's there. Beautiful big panoramic sunroof. There's no options in this car. You can have any kind of colour leather you want out of the range at no extra charge. Any colour car on the outside, no extra charge. And it's got the full, what used to be termed the luxury pack, as standard equipment on this vehicle now. It is very, very good. I like it. other features it's got is it's got the connected services, which means you can scan on a little driver's window here, there's a little QR code, and you can actually just scan that with your phone, load the app, and then you can control the car through the app. Remote starting, where is it, all this sort of stuff, and get into through the Blue Link system, Genesis calls it. There's also on the Hyundais some models as well, and it's basically their full suite of connected services for the vehicle. It also has, even in case you're involved in an accident, I'll just pull over here while I'm talking to you. Just stop the car here. Here we go. Yeah, you can have, if you happen to be involved in an accident, the car will send a message off to emergency services telling you where you are and what's happening. Push the SOS button up here, it'll do the same thing as well. So it's a very good safety system to have in the car if you're not capable to call the emergency services yourself. So I quite like that. It's looking after you, and for fleets, this is more and more a thing that could be interesting to the fleet market, but probably not in this car. Still think the fleet manager is going to say no. It is a $140,000 motor vehicle, so there is that. But it is a beautiful motor car, and one I think you'd be very happy to be driving every day. Well, under the bonnet, what's there? Where once there was the choice of 3, you now have the choice of 1. The 2.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo and the diesel motor have now gone from the Genesis GV80 range. The 2025 only comes with the option of the 3.5 litre V6 twin turbo, and I think that's probably the best of the 3 in any case. It's a very, very nice motor, this one. Rated at 279 kilowatts of power and 530 newton meters of torque. Puts all that power through an 8-speed transmission to the all-wheel drive system, which has the different drive modes of Eco, Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, plus terrain settings for on and off-road to select as well. It's a very nice motor. Sounds beautiful, this thing, when it's on full song. It is very responsive. 0 to 100 time is listed at 5.7 seconds, and I can assure you when you put your foot down, it really gets up and parties well. Fuel economy. Genesis lists the fuel economy in this vehicle at 11.7 litres per 100 k's on the combined cycle. In the past week, as I've been driving it around, the best I've seen is 11.6 litres per 100 k's. Hang on, that's better than the listed one. I have been doing a fair bit of country driving this week, going around the state, but fair bit of urban driving too, just quietly, so a lot of stop-start and heavy traffic, especially yesterday coming back into Sydney. So that's a true number, and it's quite impressive for a car that weighs over 2.3 tonne and has 279 kilowatts of power under your right foot. It's not a bad fun number for a big SUV vehicle. The fuel, though, it requires is a minimum 95 premium unleaded fuel, so there's that to consider as well. When it comes to carbon emissions, when you're asking the fleet manager, please can we put this on the fleet, I don't think you'll win, but you can always ask. CO2 emissions are listed on this vehicle at 273 grams per kilometre. So if we extrapolate this out over, say, a year or 20,000 k's, you could expect this car to put into the atmosphere on average of 5.46 tonnes of CO2 per annum. Well, what's it like in the driver's seat of the GV80 Coupe? It's very nice, it really is. Leather, everything as you'd expect in a car of this price. Steering wheel, the console top, the quilted leather seats, both heated and cooled for both front seat passenger and driver, and the 2 outboard seats in the back for the rear seat passengers. Very nice indeed. Graphite finish trim all around. Nice silvery highlighted contrast points for your dials and controllers here. Some nice lovely knobs to turn to change the temperature, and there's a push button on there to change the fan speed. Dominating the front of the dash, this combined infotainment and driver instrument display, 27 inches across. It's huge, and when you look at it when it's on, it's absolutely spectacular. I'll put a picture of it up here for you to have a look at now. Rotary transmission control, and another rotary control to contain a lot of the other functions like to do with infotainment and car settings and the like in there as well. Personal hobby horse. I've lost count the number of times when I'm parking the car and I go to change gear and I just reach over and feel that one first. Nothing's happening. No, it's this one, not this one. Continuing the rotary dials theme here, we've got the drive mode selector and the terrain selector combined in here. You just twist it for the drive selection and push down to then twist for the terrain selection. We can also change the camera settings, parking sensors here, and all that around there as well. Haptic push control buttons on the screen there, but then hiding away in here we have a wireless phone charging mat down there, or you can plug it in. I've just got mine because it's got only a USB-A plug. I just plug it into the phone that way and it can stay in the case. I don't have to worry about it sliding around down there. There's also in here a USB-C charger to connect it into the car system, and also just a second one to charge, and a switch to turn the wireless charging on and off in there. In here we have a little compartment in here, could be side keys or something, but it's very shallow. It's probably only a bit over an inch deep. I don't know what that is, but I found you can stand something up in here if you want to snack on it as you're driving, but it's very shallow in there, that one. So that's a bit of a downer. 2 big nice coffee cup holders there. So let's go with a coffee cup test. Fits in very nicely, easily. Picking up to have a drink, or your water flask. Doesn't really fit in the door, this one. That's a bit of a downer, but it does fit very nicely there, or even there, so that's good. But overall, the driving position, it's infinitely adjustable with the power adjustments on the seats. It's got a fantastic lumbar control that pushes into your back, upper or lower. You can move it up and down a bit. You've got all the little function here that brings like a little leg rest up at the front too. Very, very nice indeed. Again, for this kind of money you expect that in this car. It has the digital instruments and infotainment there all on the one screen. The steering wheel kind of provides a natural divider for your line of view onto that, and it has here a driver attention warning camera. It'll go off at you a lot. There is a setting in there to turn it off. I haven't successfully found it at this point, but I will. I'm not going to give up till I find it. But even if you put your thumb over and cover it, that really upsets it. But it is what it is. There's more and more of them in the cars, and it's possibly a little bit too sensitive in the setting. Looking down to the instruments upsets it. Checking the mirrors upsets it. But it's a very annoying loud bing too. Anyway, having said that, is the deterrence to having this car? No. It's too nice a drive. Sitting in the rear seat now. Very nice indeed. We've got the controls down the front here on the console, controlling the fan speed coming through, as well as the ventilation and temperature settings for the outboard seats, which are cooled and heated just like in the front. Very nice. There's a fair bit of space back here. It is a coupe, so the sloping roof you'd expect will come down a bit on top of my head here, so it's not too bad. I'm not touching it, not feeling like I'm going to touch it or anything like that, so that's good. I have got a heap of space. The seat is in my normal driving position, so I've got a heap of space there. A little bit cramped toe space under the seat, but I can sit here quite comfortably for a long period of time and just enjoy the ride. Got these hardback leather covered Little seat backs here with the little pockets here on both sides to put stuff away in there. We've got the cup holders in the back here and a nice little kit away which is quite shallow again, like the front console, but to put something in there, hide your phone away, something like that. And then when you don't want it, it just folds up out of the way altogether. Has all the leather seats, everything quilted, just like the front, everything's happening. It's got the nice reddish stitching here in this design. You can get different colours, a light coloured white. I particularly like the dark lining in the headroof, the black. It feels very ensconced. And of course, to contrast, we've got the lovely big red sash seat belts. You can feel like a beauty queen too. I'm not. Red seat belts. Yeah, not for me. And even in the back here, we've got locks and things there. So for the central locking, power windows of course to do everything there. And if you've got the littlies in the back, you can actually fold up the shade and hook it up there to keep it up, to keep it a bit darker and more prone for sleep inducing for the little ones. It's very nice here in the back, quite like it. But wait, I forgot something. To keep the littlies and their powered devices going, their iPads and iPhones and the like, there's a pair of twin USB-C chargers down in the center console and a 12-volt outlet as well. So everyone's going to be happy sitting in the rear seat of the GV80 Coupe. Well, what's in the back of the GV80 Coupe? Let's have a look. Power operated tailgate of course, very nice. Parcel shelf looks a bit different. A nice little fold over design. That's better than the fiddly roller shutter. Nice and easy. In here with the rear seats up, there's 644 litres of boot space. Pretty good. But if you need a bit more, you know where you've been. Bunnings, IKEA, we know where you go. One push on the two buttons and down goes the second row seats to reveal 1,033 litres of space for all your Bunnings shopping needs. Pretty cool. They come back up the same way too. Just touch on each and they slowly power their way back up again. In the meantime, nice mat that Genesis puts in here, and underneath here, let's go looking for the spare, and there isn't one. Not even a temporary spare. There's the tyre mobility kit, which is basically a nice way of saying the gum 'em up glue kit if you have a flat. I'd rather have a spare myself, but that's what comes with this car. Should you suffer the indignity of a flat, you'd be using the glue kit to get yourself going again, to go and get it fixed or replaced. 12-volt outlet in there as well, in case you want to go on a picnic and take your car fridge with you, something like that. All very good in the back of the GV80 Coupe. Well, can the GV80 tow and can it go off-road? Well, the answer to both those questions is actually yes, it can. Except for this one at the moment. It can't go towing because there's no tow bar. But I'm sure Genesis can fix that for you and get a tow bar on there as well. But let's talk about towing first. Forgive the notes, as always, there's a lot of numbers to go through. Brake towing capacity on the GV80 Coupe here is 2,722 kilos. That means the boat, the caravan, cannot weigh any more than that. But it's a bit of a conundrum there, and I question how much you can actually tow, because the maximum ball weight permitted on the tow ball when you have it fitted is only 182 kilos, which leads me to think it could be substantially less than that, but it really depends on how you've loaded the trailer and to how much weight it's actually putting on the ball. But brake towing capacity is officially 2722 and the maximum ball weight is 182 kilos. Payload. SUV type vehicles suffer in that compared to the 4x4 utes and those things. But how we get our payload is we take our gross vehicle mass for this vehicle, which is 2,890 kilos, and we subtract away its curb weight, which is 2,325 kilos. That leaves us with a payload capacity of what you can carry in this car at 565 kilos. That's you, the family, all your stuff, the fuel, everything, no more than 565, because you cannot go over 2,890 kilos. But when we bring towing back into the equation here, we put the ball weight on the back of the car, and that counts as a part of the payload, so that has to be subtracted out. And at 182 kilos, that reduces your payload capacity in the car down to 383 kilos. That's starting to get very tight on what you can actually, in terms of weight tow, and how much stuff you can have in the car. But obviously, a lighter trailer, maybe a small camper trailer, something like that, which brings us to the next thing we're going to talk about off-road. But when you vary the loads around, the weights and numbers all shift, but the one I've spoken about, you can't exceed any of those categories. Moving into the off-road space. This looks like a real rough and tough four-wheel drive here. Away we go. Well, number one, it's not a four-wheel drive, it is an all-wheel drive, but it has a very intelligent terrain management and drive system. It has different settings in there, and I'll just show you the different settings in a picture up here. You can select it for all those different types of terrain you might encounter. But I really would question serious off-roading this vehicle, even going something like the beach, when you've got 22-inch wheels with 265 40 22 tyres on them. There, let the pressure down, the sidewall height's not going to change much. It's going to be a bit restricted, but you can do it. But really soft sand getting on and off the beach may well be a problem. It also has a ground clearance of only 207 millimetres, which is not too bad for an SUV, especially on an on-road one, but that will limit your off-roading ability as well. Lastly, if you're going to cross that creek to get across to the beach, 400 millimetres wading depth maximum, nothing more. So it does have a bit of ability to go off-road, probably make it a bit more capable if you want to try some light beach driving, if you want to take it on a camping trip, something like that. Basically not going full-on rock crawling and deep creek crossing and all this sort of stuff, but it's going to help you get there, and the car is intelligent enough in its systems to do that. But just bear in mind, it's not a Land Cruiser, it's not a Ranger, a Hilux, any of the main big four-wheel drives, Pajero, anything like that. If you want to cross the Simpson Desert, this probably is not going to be the best car to do it. You can drive in luxury up to the Mount Dare pub if you wanted, but probably not across the desert. But off-road capable, yes. Full hardcore off-roading, probably not. Well, what's the ownership experience like? Genesis offers on the GV80 Coupe here a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty. That is, of course, unless you're using the car for commercial purposes, think like a hire car fleet, airport transfer service, even Uber maybe, something like that, then the warranty is still 5 years, but is limited to 130,000 Ks, whichever occurs first. When it comes to servicing, the servicing is actually for the first 5 years, or 50,000 Ks on this car, is included in the price. Check with Genesis again on the commercial application side of things there. But for the first 5 years or up to 50,000 Ks, included in the price, complimentary. Comes when you buy the car, 12 months complimentary premium roadside assist, and every time that you have a service done on the car, it renews that premium roadside assist for another 12 months, all the way up to 10 years of age. Well out of the warranty period, you still get the roadside assist up until the car's 10 years old. That's excellent value for money. But what does it cost? That's the big question, isn't it? Mr. Fleet Manager, I want one of these. Wait till he finds out the price. It has gone up over the previous model, and by quite a bit too. As you see the car here, right now, it's $146,103 drive away here in New South Wales. but that includes everything. You want a different colour, you want to change the colours of the leather seats in the car. All of that is included as you see it in that one price. Good to know. Well, what is the fleet manager going to say? You rock into his office there, or her office, and I found this great car, we need to have it on our fleet. Don't worry, it only costs nearly 150 grand. Stunned surprise will be the first reaction, no doubt, followed by a firm no. But not everything is lost. If you have access to salary sacrificing and a novated lease option, that is possibly the best and cheapest way that you're going to be able to get into one of these cars. Most financially sound, and doesn't matter what the fleet manager says then, does it? In any case, to find out more about that, and your fleet manager too, find out everything to do about car leasing, you need to go to our website first up, fleetautonews.com.au, and download a copy of our car leasing guide. Both you and the fleet manager can have a look through that together and decide which one is going to give in first to get to the Genesis. Well, what are the competitive vehicles that you might also consider if you're looking to buy this type of car? First up, BMW, maybe the X6. Having a look at that, it's a large SUV coupe style car, the X6. Pricing on that car starts at $159,300 drive away here in New South Wales. But that's, if for want of a better term, their entry-level model. If you want to have some of the equipment that you've got in the Genesis on the X6, like 22-inch wheels, the X6 only comes with 21-inch wheels, sorry, but if you want to up-spec it, the pricing just keeps going north from there. But the entry price on the X6, $159,300. The Audi, the Q8, well, it starts at $167,869. Again, substantially more. It's over $20,000 dearer than what this car is. And again, it doesn't have half the features that this car does. Mercedes-Benz, the GLE 450. Entry level for that particular car starts from $174,500. Again, you're getting up nearly $30,000 more than this one, and it doesn't have anywhere near the inclusions. Again, it's only got 21-inch wheels. Any of the extras and features that this one has, they're all option packs on the Mercedes, and it's just going to keep sending the price further and further north. I think the top one, once you start speccing it up, the GLE 450 is over 300 grand. Mind you, that's with the big high-powered 500 kilowatt type V8 turbo engine and things in it, but it's not equivalent in power to what this vehicle has, whereas the entry level is. But it's still over 30 odd grand dearer to get, and you haven't got all the stuff this one does. But the most serious competitor, to be honest, and it's probably not as big as this car, but I thought definitely worth inclusion, is the LX RX 500h FS Sport from Lexus. All-inclusive price for the top spec of that car, as I said, the FS Sport variant, $140,000 drive away. So it's actually a bit cheaper than this one. Is it a better car? Well, I've driven a couple of Lexuses in my time, including the RX, and personal choice, I would take this one every day of the week. I just think it's a much nicer looking car, and I just think it's a better car, to be honest. But tell us what you think. Hit us up in the comments down below and let us know. Well, I've quite enjoyed my time driving the GV80 Coupe. I think it's a really nice car to drive, one you'd be very proud to be seen in, and just happy to be in it every day. whether you're going to the shops, to the office, running the kids around, going on a drive down the coast, or on a big interstate trip. This vehicle will be infinitely comfortable and eminently capable to do whatever you need it to do. It's got so much power and tap when you need to pass that truck on the open road or the caravan, you just blast around it, easy peasy, like it's not even there. Well appointed, yes, it's up there in the pricing, but compared to its competitors, especially the Europeans, it still is offering absolutely excellent value for money. And if you can look past the badge, see it's a Genesis, not one of the European brands, get past the badge snobbery, this car, you'll be so pleased with it. I'm confident you'll enjoy it driving every day. That said, I'm Rod from Fleet News Group. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if you like these videos, like button down there, as well as the subscribe and notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at the Fleet News Group. Thank you very much for watching again, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.